that I got a job as an order selector at a food warehouse. When the orders came in from grocery stores and bodegas, the warehouse supervisor gave them to the selector, whose job it was to go around the big-ass warehouse and gather the food to fulfill them. Grocery stores would place an order with the distributor, 15 boxes of cat food, 10 gallons of milk, 35 half gallons, 3 packs of black beans, 24 each, 4 of red, and so on. It went on and on until there was enough stuff to stock the store. There are anywhere between 60 and 100 aisles in these warehouses, and order selectors typically have either a motorized jack or a small forklift, sometimes called a high-low, to get around. They ride the lift to whichever aisle has the product they need, hop off, grab the box or boxes, which can be anywhere between 10 and 60 pounds, stack them on the pallet, and hop back onto the high-low before moving on to the next aisle. Once the pallet is stacked to a little over 6 feet tall, you walk around the whole thing, wrapping it up with this big roll of plastic tape, almost like industrial-strength saran wrap. Then you deliver it to the loading dock, where other workers put it on a truck to be delivered to the customer. That's the job. Seems easy enough, right? But the twist is, you have to do it at top speed for the entire 8-hour shift. Your job depends on it. You are responsible for a certain number of orders per hour, and shift supervisors track your productivity down to the minute. Running from aisle to aisle takes time, but what most newbies mess up is that they don't know how to pack the pallet right the first time. They might throw a box of napkins and a few boxes of chips onto the pallet because those are the closest. Then, 15 minutes later, they realize that there are 2 24-pack boxes of ketchup bottles on the manifest that are way heavier. They can't put those on top of the napkins, so they have to rearrange the pallet. This rearranging costs time, and believe me when I say that every second counts. You're being watched. Meanwhile, you're trying to move as quickly as possible, as efficiently as possible, and stack your pallets as perfectly as possible, because the fuller the pallet gets, the more unstable it becomes, making it likely that it will tip over as you turn corners to the next aisle. In some warehouses, you can fix this by wrapping as you go, but in the one where I worked, there was a limit to how much wrapping tape you were given. You had to make it last the entire shift, so you couldn't wrap as you went. You had to stack perfectly. And if you didn't, if you dropped all or part of an order, that was a problem. Each pallet contained thousands of dollars worth of items, and if you broke anything, you paid for it. That was your day. Run through the aisles, grab the boxes, stack them over your head, do it perfectly, and do it fast, over and over again. If your productivity was below 90%, you weren't eligible for union benefits. And if you weren't eligible for union benefits, you weren't eligible for things like paid sick leave and health care for you and your family. It's an athletic job. I don't say that lightly. I play basketball, a little football, and I was the captain of my high school track team. So believe me when I tell you that picking was real athletic work. Physical, repetitive, dangerous. And because there are supervisors watching your every move and a giant clock in your head tracking every moment, it's also stressful. I was one of the youngest dudes in there when I started that job. Maybe 24 or 25. Most people were in their 30s or 40s. I got stuck on the graveyard shift, as most rookies do. I would get off at 7 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. if I was assigned mandatory overtime. Then I would go home and take the kids to school. I had another job working with my brother at a tile factory during the day. So after dropping off the kids, I would go to that job, come back home for a short nap, eat dinner, and then head to my night shift at the grocery warehouse. Rinse and repeat. It was a brutal schedule, but we didn't have any other way to make ends meet. The environment of the graveyard shift was like nothing I'd ever seen, and it wasn't because I hadn't been around. I'd been working since I was 16. I had been in places that were tough, and places where dudes just couldn't take it, just quit in the middle of a shift in tears because the work was so hard. That part was wild, but it was not new. I had seen that at FedEx. What was wild at this place was the intensity among the workers and on the floor. The guys I worked with could be playful. They would tease you, roast you a little bit, and it was all good.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.